red flag the event. They're going to stop the field, restart the race, and try and settle it.
Yeah, I think Spencer just run so hard, and he was a little bit...
Trouble in turn one. Hard crash. Hard crash up into the corner. We are under caution for Bobby Labonte. Remember, we had said earlier that he was reporting a possible vibration in the car. He was running in fifth as he goes up into the wall, and we are under caution here on the speedway. So caution, and that too is Loy Allen's automobile involved with an accident as well. So caution here at the Rock. It comes out at lap number 172, and Glenn Jarrett, you had the eyeball on it, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely, Eli. I was standing here in Terry Labonte's pit, and I heard a tire blow. Loy Allen got into the wall right dead in front of us here, if you can see out of my camera where he impacted the wall. But there was oil or water or something all over the racetrack in the groove. When Bobby Labonte came through, he got in it. Of course, you're turning right there in the tri-oval. The car just simply spun right out from under him.
Man, oh man. So it happens, and rarely do you see single car incidents, more so at some tracks than others, but let's get a look at it again. Past Jeff Burton.
And that had been going on for a long while.
There's Loy in the wall.
Well, Burton and the 18 just came together.
Let's see if we can get another look and get a better view as to exactly what transpired. That one was a pretty good idea. Let's see what we can get here. Here's Loy Allen after the crash. Oh, and he can't steer.
Boom.
Gave it a pretty good lick, didn't he?
Yep.
So Loy Allen, Bobby Labonte, separate yet related incidents, and we're under caution here at lap number 172.
Well, Eli, now that I have seen it, I thought I saw a stream of oil there. What happened was when Loy hit the wall, they were coming up on Loy Allen, and I think Bobby just checked up, saw the wreck in front of him. His spotter yelled at him, "Wreck right in front of you," and he lifted, and Jeff Burton's spotter, or Jeff, didn't see him lift in time and just simply got into him.
Terry Labonte continues to lead. How close? You wonder how we get the great pictures we're getting. Well, that is one of the TNN cameras right there, and you see where the impact was on the wall from that last accident. That is an unmanned camera. The fellows who are there on the still store cameras, but there's the operator of our remote camera. He is well behind the safety of the catch fence, but you see the remote camera that is being worked by the wonders of a joystick from just a few feet away, but from the safety behind the catch fence. Red flag now going in the air as Doyle Ford will signal the red flag. And there you see the Loy Allen car. Young driver from Raleigh, North Carolina, is now being tended to by the NASCAR safety officials. And that obviously is a reason for the red flag. His safety paramount to everyone. So the red flag being thrown here at lap number 179 at the North Carolina Motor Speedway.
Caution out because of rain. But I don't believe the leader took the caution, so now he has to try to race back and keep Bill Elliott.
Oh, Elliott spins. He was jumped by Jeff Burton.
Yes, he was, indeed. As he came around, he might not have got into the wall too hard.
Here comes Elliott with some damage on the nose.
Yeah, the nose of the car did get into the wall.
And this is for rain, because over in turn 3, I can see the rain. Can you see the rain coming? Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
Well, we are
going to be too happy. He's pulling up there to the 99 car. Yeah, he's not too happy.
He's going to have a few words and just a little friendly.
Finger at him.
Yeah.
Just want to tell Mr. Burton that he was not a happy camper.
Right. Here's the replay from Michael Waltrip's roof cam.
There you see it.
Yep.
They made contact there, Burton down on the inside. Michael almost got into Burton when Burton backed off. And the red flag is out. I'm wondering about this, if he's going to be able to complete that pit stop or what the situation will be. Maybe he came in before the red flag came out. I don't know.
You can't work on the car during the red. The red is showing with 5 cars on the lead lap and 324 of the 500 laps completed. Labonte pulls out of his pit area and will now go over to the line of cars that are stopped over on the backstretch.
I tell you what, that is great strategy.
Well, yeah, if he got in and apparently there was no penalty involved, so it was great strategy. He'll be the leader of the race. Everybody else is going to stop if we get this race restarted. He had nothing to lose. He was the last car on the lead lap.
And the tarps coming out on the backstretch as the shower is passing over the racetrack. Not a hard shower by any means. Will undoubtedly be able to get this race going again.
And he's got a spin.
Darrell Waltrip, some heavy damage to the back of the Western Auto Chevrolet.
Break for Dale Jarrett if he can beat Jeff Gordon back to the line. And Richie Craven get one of his. And tell him, guys, that car's sitting on the outside of the track. Wow, Darrell Waltrip has hit that wall hard.
Yeah, the back end of that car is...
And Darrell, don't go any place because that looks like gasoline that is...
I can't even believe the car would even move. But he's trying. He doesn't know how much damage is done to the back of that car.
It looks like gasoline that's on the back of the racetrack. And I wouldn't want Darrell to be trying to drag something across there and spark. So somebody tell him... I mean, what am I saying? I'm sure that the crew is telling him to turn it off. And we have a red flag condition right now.
Yeah, there is a considerable amount of gasoline down there on the racetrack, and let's just get that cleaned up as quickly as possible. Jerry?
Well, Benny, immediately you were talking about cutting it off. It's exactly what the NASCAR official and Pete Peterson here in the pits had told Darrell. Pete, you guys immediately were telling Darrell to cut it off because of the fuel coming out of the back.
It must have busted neck or something and let the fuel spill out. I don't think he knew that. He was trying to get going, that's all.
Did he say what happened up there, Pete?
He hasn't said anything yet.
Okay, that's Pete Peterson and the crew. They're going to try to make their way over to DW, but fortunately NASCAR right there immediately saw the fuel coming out as Benny Parsons did, and Ned upstairs and Bob, and ran over here and said, tell him to cut it off, which DW immediately did.
Well, we've been concerned with moisture on the racetrack all day, and now they are putting moisture down on it, trying to dilute the fuel that came out of that car. That could have been a very bad situation.
Darrell's not happy with somebody, whatever caused this situation. Certainly he's unhappy because he tore his race car up, had a great run going here today, but I believe that he's a little concerned about somebody that maybe got into him.
He was in 11th position when this thing occurred. Yeah, there you can see he makes contact with somebody.
Dark car.
Jeff Bodine, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff Bodine, the 7 car. And Darrell spins up, and there we see the gasoline start coming out of the car.
There's the front of Jeff's car, and it does show signs of having had contact with Darrell.
The crew was trying to tell you to cut it off. You were trying to get it refired and going. Probably had no idea there was fuel pouring out of the back of the car.
No, I've seen drivers, I've seen them at Indy try to fire their cars up, and the motor ain't even on there. So I didn't have any idea the fuel cell was busted. I knew I hit pretty hard, but I just wanted to try to get back in the garage and get out, get Stevie and get with the kids, and we'll get them into what's the next race?
Wilkesburg,
my favorite racetrack.
And look at this.
He's beating a hasty retreat, isn't he?
He is out of here.
Uh-oh, now how am I going to get over this thing, he said, huh?
Uh-oh.
Where's the steps? Where's the step? Oh, they're going to open the gate for Darrell.
Well, ain't that nice?
That's very nice. No, that's right. Stevie is not going to be able to climb over the fence.
Yeah,
so
Darrell could do it.
We talked earlier about how Darrell is the top performer here at Bristol in the modern era with 42 races and an average finish of 7.4. You know who the guy is who's second on that list, as Darrell gets a big round of applause? Who is the second top performer here at Bristol in the modern era?
BP?
Not necessarily an active driver.
BP?
How about that?
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
7.5 was your average finish in 24 races here at Bristol.
Really?
That's good.
Yep.
Wow.
How about that?
I'm impressed.
So am I. And for that, Benny, you win absolutely nothing.
That's what I figured. About what I want for that 7.5.
Still a lot of clouds over there beyond the mountain, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain anymore. We should be back to racing in a moment. This is what happened just a few minutes ago when Larry and Tony were a little unhappy with the call that was made from the NASCAR officials.
NASCAR officials said, look, that call was made upstairs. I didn't make that call. Tony, who can I argue with? Okay, I'll go over and talk to this guy. No.
Some good emotion there, Tony.
He's a competitor.
He is
definitely a competitor.
Can't blame him.
Yep.
Crew is all laughing, watching Tony and laughing.
Turn around, wave to us, guys.
They're probably not hearing audio. They're just seeing video.
There we go. All right. The conversation is continuing. This thing hasn't been completely resolved, but our Kodak moment continues.
By the way, you know, Darlington last week, Doyle dropped the green flag on one of the restarts, and they're red flag in the race again right now. He dropped the green flag on one of the restarts, so this week he took a rubber band and tied it around that so he could put it around his hand, and so that wouldn't happen again.
It's all right.
Yeah. And I shouldn't bring it up. I won't bring it up anymore. So this is the last time I'll mention it.
Now that the world knows it.
Yeah. Well, there is the red once again.
He's gracefully, beautifully waving that red flag. Attaboy, Doyle. What a job you're doing. You got to do something to get back in the good graces of Doyle.
Not a good sight. Bill, what do you got?
I just wanted to tell you, according to the radar, it's not raining here. So we can go ahead and go, because right here on the NASCAR radar, if you look where Bristol International Raceway is, it's clear. So it's not raining. See all this stuff, though?
Yeah.
That's rain.
Yeah.
You know where it's coming? Right here. So here's the raceway. And right here, if you look real closely, you can see the Tri-Cities Airport. That's where my plane leaves in about an hour and a half without me tonight.
That's right.
A lot of us. But
forget it.
Yeah, so it is raining here now, and this stuff is coming. And we're going to really have to play some dodgeball here to try and get the rest of these laps in. But cross our fingers. Hopefully we will.
Let's see, in about 3 hours, looks like it's going to be nice. The jet dryer is back out. We have seen it demonstrate earlier today that it doesn't take long to dry the track when it does stop raining and that dryer gets out there. So if it would just stop raining and give us about 45 minutes or an hour, we could get this thing in the books. The announcement has just been made. The race has been called at this point at the conclusion of 343 laps, and Jeff Gordon is the winner. And look at his incredible climb in the points. What Ned and Benny talked about in the early part of the race.
Oh, and John Andretti in the wall. And there goes, more trouble. And Rusty Wallace is stopped. Rusty has made some contact with someone and is stopped.
Rusty Wallace becomes a victim of a crash here on the main backstretch, yeah.
And look how they go get in the pits with all that water over there.
There is a huge amount of water. That was a water barrier to soften the blow, and all the water is dumped out on pit road. And Joe Nemechek
has got problems.
Yeah, damaged heavily on the right front.
The tire is trying to come off the rim and probably will before he gets back.
Wow, what a break for Rusty Wallace, huh?
A tough break. And Jeff Bodine makes some contact with John Andretti. And Andretti's trying his best to ever see Ernie Irvin go by. Now here comes Nemechek. And looks like the Dallenbach also hit the water.
Dallenbach was the first to hit the water, and then Andretti slid into it, knocking over the barrels. And then right in front of Rusty Wallace, Rusty had no place to go. And this is Rusty's roof. Ironically, his crew chief, Robin Pemberton, has been named the Western Auto Mechanic of the race. And now he's got a lot of work to do. He and the rest of the Miller crew go to work. Man, that is just a real fortunate situation for us.
They have stopped the pace car over on the second red flag.
I kind of had a feeling they would. They're going to red flag this thing and stop it so that they can...
but now they can't work on the two, right?
Yeah.
Go to the high.
We can figure out what we can do there. Don't touch it.
I said we'll figure out what we need to do.
Well, that's one break. They can at least figure out what they need to go get off the truck, what kind of tools they need.
It's red flags.
They got some water to clean up over there in the backstretch at the entrance to pit road, so that's the reason for the red flag. There you can see the work is going on. First of all, they're going to have to refill those barrels of water.
And what happened?
I don't know. It either fell off. There, as I watched it go by here on the hook, there was still a little bit of fire in the engine compartment. John?
Well, Bob, as they turned the record, turned around to bring it back into pit road, all of a sudden a bunch of people from pit road started yelling at him, fire, fire. And there was a fire back in the engine compartment. And so they dropped the winch. They popped it, dropped the car down, pulled the record truck away, and some fire crew were quickly on the scene to extinguish the fire. But a little bit of a scary moment there. Now, I understand Dale Earnhardt has somewhat of a problem. Let's go to Bill Weber to find out about that.
Well, when they parked these guys back there, he was really concerned that his car would not restart, so he left it running, and the temperature started going up and up. And he was encouraging Richard Childress to try and get NASCAR to keep these guys rolling, and they wouldn't. Obviously they couldn't do it. So finally, he said, I'm leaving it running. Richard Childress told him, you're going to have to turn it off, Dale, or it's going to burn up. So they have shut it off. Now, he did get an agreement from Lake Speed in the 9 car that Speed would push start him when we go back to caution condition, but now it looks like NASCAR may get a truck over there to help push start the 3 car. We'll have to wait and see.
Wow. Oh. Yeah, Martin. Jeff Gordon. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Who is it? Wow. Everything crazy. A bad crash here at Talladega. Just a very, very bad crash. Mark Martin is involved. So is Rusty Wallace, Brett Bodine, Elton Sawyer. One car overturned in the banking of turn number 1, got up into the catch fence and came back onto the racetrack. I don't know who it was at the moment, but this is a very, very ugly looking crash. Here it is again. Take a look. It's going to happen up front with Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin running side by side.
Okay, Martin goes a little high there. Gordon gets into him. They both have to back off, and then the jamming up starts, and they get into the wall on the outside. Others start jockeying around. There's Derrike Cope. He thought he got through that for just a moment, but Mark Martin's going to come right back up in front of him. And is that Ricky Craven?
Yes, it is.
Ricky Craven in car number 41 that's flipping over, went up against the outside wheel fence, back down on the track, and was hit again.
Yeah, he got hit again as the car was rolling toward the apron of the racetrack. So Ricky Craven is certainly one that we have a great deal of concern about. Jeff Gordon is okay.
Okay, Mark just riding along. Everything's looking great as Terry Labonte goes by on the outside. And Mark starts to move up here, not realizing that Jeff Gordon is coming up on the outside of him. And then he gets into the wall, slams down under the inside, and boy, it breaks loose.
There they're removing some of the debris and throwing it over the crash wall. You can see the retaining fence there is rather damaged. That's where Ricky Craven flew up into it. It did its job, however, and threw the car right back onto the racetrack. Wow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I didn't think he overturned that many times. Got to show that real time, too. This is unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fred? Yep. As you can see, the red flag has been displayed. The cars have come to a stop at the top of the banking here in the tri-oval.
Ernie Irvin has caught Earnhardt along with Dale Jarrett. So the Fords are at the very tail end of this lead pack, and there goes Earnhardt by the 4th place car on Kenny Schrader. And we're coming back to the line. Caution flag is out, probably because of the rain.
This could be it. There is Ernie Irvin picking up a position on Ken Schrader. Here they come off of the 4th corner onto the tri-oval. Terry Labonte looks to the inside. It's going to be Sterling Marlin winning the race to the caution with Labonte, Gordon, Earnhardt, and Ernie Irvin the top 5. 43 laps to go as the caution comes out because of rain.
Now then, they can all make it from here. Do you think they'll pit? Do you think they'll pit now? Because if they have all got to make another pit stop. So, will they stop now?
Benny, the rain is coming down as hard now as it has since well before the beginning of this race. And they cannot stay out there very long, in my opinion, because the track is going to get very wet in a very short length of time.
Yes, I don't think these cars will pit. I think they'll stay out, and under the assumption that this race is over. We can see from the onboard camera, the health source camera, just how much rain is falling.
Well, it's been a very frustrating day for everybody, for the drivers, for the crews, for NASCAR, for us, and for you, I'm sure, as fans who woke up this morning hoping to turn on the TV at 11 o'clock and be finished with the race by early afternoon and doing other things. But we're glad you stayed with us to watch what could be the end of this race. Look how hard it is raining right now, and the crews come out with their tarps to keep their respective pit areas dry. It's raining very hard here on the tri-oval, the front stretch, so to speak. I'm not sure that the rain has reached the back stretch at this point, but look at the NASCAR official pointing to the infield.
It's Elmo.
Yeah.
Elmo is telling them we're going to stop, I guess.
Yep, we're going to pit road. And it is raining hard enough here in front of the main grandstand to halt this event.
I think this is a red flag situation. And as a matter of fact, all the teams have tarps on their pits. There's no way anybody can stop them now because there's tarps out there.
Yep. We don't see a red flag, however. But
they wait until the cars go, all the cars go by the start-finish line.
Okay. Elmo is leading him down very slowly on pit road, but we are still under officially the caution flag. There it is.
As soon as those cars go by, they will put out display the red flag.
Looks like they're going to stop just shy of the start-finish line. And everybody's scrambling for cover and to get their pit areas covered up. Keep them as dry as they possibly can. Well, nothing is happening here at the moment. We are going to stand by, however, and give you updates very, very soon or very often here at Daytona. But in the meantime, we've got a shop talk that we want to show you. Alan Bestwick is the host of the show. Dale Earnhardt is his guest. Stand by for updated reports. But right now, here is Shop Talk.
Hi, hope you enjoyed the race. Welcome to NASCAR Shop Talk on ESPN. I'm Alan Bestwick.
We are back live at Daytona International Speedway, and the rain continues to come down. In fact, it's coming down quite hard. It is thundering and lightning. It's not a very pleasant situation at all right now. However, NASCAR has not made a decision, and they apparently will not for quite some time, because we've got enough daylight left that it does stop raining. We can get the rest of this race in. The official word has been given. The Pepsi 400 is over. They will not attempt to restart this race because the rain continues to fall very, very heavily. It's still thundering and lightning, and besides that, the radar looks very, very poor, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop raining anytime soon.
Now back with the leaders. Earnhardt on the inside and Sterling Marlin outside.
And Ernie going with Earnhardt down on the inside. That's going to hit. Oh, he got trouble.
Terrible crash. Front of the field all torn up. Earnhardt's car destroyed. A major crash. Sterling Marlin taking off the gloves. Earnhardt's number 3. Head on into the wall at 190 miles an hour.
He almost got upside down. That car got very high off the ground.
This is the crew watching on TV, just like you guys are. They're watching to see how Dale is in the car.
Just hoping and praying he'll get out of there on his own in a moment.
That's Greg Sachs out of his car. And Dale Earnhardt is coming out of his car. And Earnhardt is on his feet. Dale Earnhardt attempting to walk to the ambulance. Never, never doubt that cliche about Dale Earnhardt. One tough customer gives the thumbs up as he walks away from one of the worst incidents in his racing career. Let's take a look at what happened to Dale Earnhardt and the rest of the field here in turn one as they battle for the lead. Ned?
Well, you can see Earnhardt is leading. Ernie Irvan trying to pass the 4-car of Sterling Marlin, touches him, shoots the left front of Marlin's car down into Earnhardt. Earnhardt into the wall, and then since they were at the front of the pack, lots of other cars came along and got involved.
Earnhardt rolling over in that incident. Another angle.
Boy, as close as it, you see Earnhardt's car gets upside down and gets hit there by
a
That's Robert Presley. That's Robert Presley in the 33 got into Earnhardt when he was upside down there.
But Cope was the first one, got him in the roof at 190 miles per hour approaching turn 1. And Sterling okay after that one.